I'm talking that bullshit.
Right, bro. Speak English.
Hey, we live.
I mean, you said fuck a dog. You shot my dog in the face.
We live.
Shalom, shalom. We're the brothers of the Great Millstone, and first and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham.
double honors into our apostles, double honors into the elder bishops. Salutations to all our fellow laborers that do this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. The would-be judges, the 144,000, and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners. Among the heathen nations, they have the appearance of the heathen nations. This is not a black only.
That's right.
And to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say shalom. We say shalom, and we're just gonna jump right into this this lesson. If you could, brother, could you pull up that pull up those three videos, pull up the first one, Baba Bashar? Because America is clearly entered into this third. America attacked Iran,
Yes, sir.
which means the third World War is definitely happening. Now it's not full blown where missiles are flying across the planet to every country, you know. But right now they're still fighting covertly, and you know. But what's happening is that the proxy wars are now going away. Okay, so there's no hiring hitman and economic hitman and all that other bullshit. It's straight conflict now. All right, and America, you know, sent out a false report. The report was not true. They did not destroy Iran's nuclear sites at all. Okay, I guess they're just trying to make themselves look good and save face for all the destruction, and then all the scoffing, very funny videos that were scoffing the Israelis in their plights as they're running away with their tails between their legs after they talked all that shit. But you know, they had to save face and do something. But by doing that, they really just sealed the deal in the prophecy of Ezekiel the 38th chapter. All right, because Russia will be a guard unto Iran.
Putin just sent out a video. He said that they're gonna follow the trajectory of where this is going, and he said if Iran has to defend itself, then we have to. And Jake gotta understand, man. China and Russia don't want to go to war because they have to sell it to their people. Now Russia can say, hey, we put money in Iran and so did China, and now they're attacking our money. We can justify going to war, man.
And not only that, you know, Iran supplies a lot of oil to China. You messing up their supply.
And that's how they justify it, because they have to tell the people, let's go to war.
This thing is getting ready to crack, man.
Let's go.
Okay.
Because again, Russia's government,
Please get that loud about
because they almost went bankrupt, they're not trying to go to war because they have to sell it to their people. China doesn't want to go to war because they have to sell it to their people. So how are they going to sell it? Say, hey, we have money in Iran, they destroyed our money, so we have to go get them back. Just like everything else, just like in September 11, they justified a war to you. They have to justify, the Russians and the Chinese have to justify a war against America. Our money is there. Our money is getting burned. We have to go protect our money.
There it is.
Can I read this tweet real quick?
Bring it out, brother.
This is from Daily Iran Military. Head of Iran's Nuclear Safety Systems Center. Despite the criminal actions early this morning and the attack on nuclear facilities, due to prior precautions and measures taken, no radioactive contamination or nuclear radiation has been observed outside these sites and facilities. And that was another one when they said the same thing. They moved their shit. They said Trump has lied again. They already moved their shit. They was expecting this. Because what's happening now is they're not attacking citizens really. They attacking each other. Infrastructure and military shit. Even when they respond back to America, they gonna hit American bases over there. So
yeah, and what's happening is, like I said, there was so much shameful spewing. Some of the videos were actually funny. People, you know, Palestinians playing saxophones as the bombs are dropping. You know, all kind of, you know.
I had a driver from Jordan yesterday.
Yeah, other European people making fun of the Israelis as they are fleeing, and when they see that they're not invincible, the iron don't fail. The shameful spewing upon their glory. Somebody can grab that real quick, Baba Kushab.
I had a Jordanese driver last night for Uber, and he said, "Hey, my cousins were taking pictures with the missiles in the background because they weren't hitting nothing that mattered." He said, because it was a picture of him with his cousin, and they had the nukes, and he's like, "Didn't you see it on social media?" He was at a wedding, and he was watching the bomb, but they were falling in Israel. You know what I'm talking about? The video, and he said,
So that was their wedding backdrop.
he was like, basically, like, they're getting hit while we're celebrating some new, you know, some
Newlyweds.
yes, exactly. Some what it said, like in the time of Noah, they were giving to drink.
Marriage. Yeah,
Giving into marriage.
Bro, they weren't scared, man. Then Jordanese, he said my mother's Iranian and my father's Jordanese. He said we're not worried about them. He said we're not worried about the Israelis. He said we know. He said we know we have bred soldiers that will die them cowards out, which means they know that the real or so-called Palestinians have more heart than the Israelis, because these Israelis, not only are they cowards, but they're people from other places
They're
in the
fair
planet.
weather-
They're not about it.
They're fair weather tough. You're right. They're not about it.
Well, right.
Them niggas ain't about it.
They don't
All
think-
right. Real quick, brother. Read that scripture and then play this video. You have something to say, Benji?
Yeah, I was gonna make a point to hit the scripture. But
Go ahead, brother. No, do it. Go ahead.
They gonna fear, man. They gonna fucking fear. They talking about we got soldiers and all. That don't fucking matter. Right now they know only infrastructure's getting hit. All right, and this Isaiah, and this is the judgment of the Lord is coming down. You bitches will fear, man. And this Isaiah 13:6. How ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. See, I was gonna grab the scripture that talks about this battle. Most battles is with crime, but this one should be with fire. See, they talking about we got soldiers trained and ready to. Hey, look, a soldier can't train and stop a missile.
Not at all.
A soldier, you can't. No matter how many AKs you got, no matter how
many
deep
boards you break.
right? No matter how much you pray on your magic carpet, you ain't stopping no missile that the Lord has ordained, man. All right.
Israel Iron Dome couldn't stop the missiles.
Iron don't fail.
It failed.
And so basically, he's going to talk about that in this video. Their make-believe invincibility has been shown to have been a lie. It was a lie all along. And the Iranians actually were able. Matter of fact, Hamas showed you that they were able to send their weak stuff to activate all that money that you good old Christians here in America has been sitting over to the Israelis, funding them as they go around picking fights with everybody in the region so that they can advance themselves. You know, just watched the video where they talked about 70% of the people, I think it was in office, the positions of power, have dual Israeli citizenship. 70% of government, of American government, is Israelis. All right, they have dual citizenships. They're all in your alphabet law enforcement organizations. They're at the top, the FBI, DHS, all that stuff. Man.
Homeland Security,
CDC, it's all them, okay? And it's Israel first. Matter of fact, the receipts are showing that even your president is a convert to the rest of the converts. He's converted to Judaism according to some of the information that I've seen, and it looks pretty legitimate that he actually did it in 2017. So when that one Jewish guy said he'd like to introduce the world's first Jewish president, well, that would be DJ Trump. All right, so now you begin to see why they have so much sway in America, in American policy, in American government, and then they create laws. You know, if you criticize or if you point out facts that don't add up, if you point out any of their faults, you get labeled with the whole the anti-Sem thing.
Hey, what do they say? It's illegal to fly another flag in America, and then this is in your government.
Yeah.
That blue and white, right? How dare you fly a Mexican flag, you spick? But this one, You can hold this one in Congress, B.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead and push play.
Look at that, look at that.
Oh, you had something first.
Well, I was going to say, it's proven record back in March, early this year, Trump converted to Judaism. He doesn't even hide about it. He went there and got so-called converted and all. So how his heart.
So there you go. So even, and that's why you got MAGA split now. These Edomites are ready to go to war with one another. That's another thing that this strike on Iran did, because America doesn't want a war with Iran. But even though this war hasn't gone full blown yet, it's basically it's too far gone. There's no way back.
Oh yeah. No.
This thing is going to happen, and so MAGA split, America split, and it's just a matter of time. But
So this is Habakkuk 2:16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's Yahweh Shai's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory.
right, and shameful spewing is upon their glory all over the internet, and we know that they're eventually going to shut it down because they can't take it. The amount of spoofs and people that are clowning them and making fun of their death and destruction of their property and them fleeing. They were jumping on private boats and jumping on boats and getting boats out of there across the Mediterranean. I think something like 9 million of them had to flee. 9 million people have fled. So it's like, wait a minute, man. What about dwelling safely alone?
Right.
The prophecy says that the Israelites will dwell safely alone.
When they go.
Okay, so these people, and that's another thing. Everyone's clowning them about not being the people of the Lord. It's not just the Hebrew Israelites anymore.
Right.
Christians and other white people and other so-called, everyone's pointing out the fact that these people are not Israelites. Because you can't say that they aren't Hebrews, they really are Hebrews. They
Right.
just aren't the Hebrew Israelites.
Can I get that definition for shameful spewing?
Go ahead, brother.
It's the Hebrew word kwan, disgrace, shame, but in the strong note it says from intense disgrace, shameful
Hey,
spewing. So
make sure you
this,
got
and this
No,
is
no. Oh,
this intense shame, intense
remember,
spewing,
anybody got
right?
shorts? You got a
Because
camera?
for years, America owning the narrative.
I want to wake
For
him up.
years
He's
of,
my elder.
the years of America owning the narrative, they've always painted America, Israel.
Well, every commercial that they do is painting a narrative.
Correct.
I just watched a video and they're talking about now that they did this, that they have this unsuccessful attack on Iran. Now all they're talking about is sales being activated and this, that, and the other. And
Yes.
danger. And
Incels in America.
and that could be true, but I don't believe that the Iranians are going to do that. I believe that if there's attacks and shit that go off, that they're going to be inside jobs that they're just going to blame on other people.
BB said that.
Right?
He said
Because
first.
they've done it too many times, and there's too much evidence that they have done this. All right, when they go in and they find, it's just like when the pipeline was blown up. When they went down and gathered up all the evidence, they found explosives that were U.S. Navy explosives. So so U.S. Navy. So what you said, some frogmen down there, you said some SEALs down there to blow up those pipelines. I don't know. You found Navy explosives down there.
BB
Go
said
ahead, brother.
first in Israel and then in New York.
Right.
Don't be surprised. First here, then over there.
We're not worried about what America's gonna do. It's the same thing with the same 9/11. Same motherfuckers do the same thing again.
That's the point.
MO.
Yeah, I know.
That's the whole point.
Vietnam, tungsten,
Pearl Harbor.
whatever, Pearl Harbor.
The Gulf of Tonkin.
Yeah, Gulf of Tonkin, yeah.
The incident that supposedly kicked it off, that you had all the people that were there admitted that it never happened.
Yeah.
But go ahead. So basically,
You're a fucking
millions
liar.
of people died. 55,000 American soldiers died, and over 1 million Vietnamese. It was a bankers' war, because who got wealthy off that? You-ish owned companies, weapons makers and stuff. The people that make Roundup were the same people that make Agent Orange.
Right.
And those are all you-ish owned. So every day, all wars are bankers' wars. Go ahead, brother.
Americans have to come to the realization that this dichotomy, Democrats and Republicans, is meaningless. We're really dealing with a uniparty. We're dealing with an entirely corrupted, dysfunctional system. This thing that we call democracy in the United States is a scam. It's not real. It's just not real.
Pause it right there. It's not real because it's completely and totally U.S. ran. All right, it's not a democracy. The whole democracy here is just like you said. There's a fraud. They're giving people the illusion that they have a voice and that they have a choice. That's what they do.
Damn right. Hell, America. You know what they call? Insurance. We pay insurance every motherfucking month under a motherfucking car. And as soon as somebody hits your shit, they don't even want to pay.
They don't want to pay you.
When Louis XVI was crowned King of France, and people in the streets in Paris and other cities said, "Long live Louis XVI, as long as the price of bread doesn't rise."
Damn.
1789 was a revolution because the French people in Paris could not afford to buy bread.
Didn't they cut Louis'
It's
head
bread.
off?
Yes.
When he one of them kings that got his head chopped off by the people when they rioted, wasn't that Louis?
That's the reason they call Louis XIII, right?
Well, anyway, somebody can look it up. I think,
I'm looking it up, Elder.
I think because you know when they had that French Revolution, one of them
I'm looking it up, Elder. Elder Tahar watches this sit down. We gotta fact
So we
check.
gotta be on point.
You know what I'm saying?
He died of guillotine.
He died, so he got his head chopped
It
off.
said, look, it says this phrase. Yeah, this is
The phrase off with his head.
Yeah,
Yeah, because the French was all
Oh,
about
that-
decapitating. The French is about three things. They're about getting drunk. They love wine.
wine and
They're
bread.
about menage a trois. They some freaks.
Yes, so.
And they're about cutting people's heads off.
Yeah.
The French didn't fuck around when it came to that. You fucked up off with his head, off with her head, because they cut bitches' heads off too.
Jump to it.
Like a wildfire across France. The American people aren't paying that much attention. The average American is worried about whether or not he can get a six-pack of beer tonight and watch the game on TV.
Let's go, Game 7.
As long as he can afford gas for his car and he goes to work.
Sounds like he been watching Elder Barras videos. We always talking about Joe Six-Pack.
Right.
Right. As long as they can get some beer and sit their fat ass around and watch TV and watch some sports, they good. Go ahead.
Without disruption doesn't make a great deal of difference to him. And remember that he believes that war is something that happens on someone else's soil. Now, he can be rapidly convinced that he's wrong if things go badly here at home in the United States. We just admitted an estimated 30 million people into the country about whom we know absolutely nothing. There is no strategy for mass deportation.
Pause it again. Now this is why I said I believe that if something happens, it's going to be self-inflicted so that they can enact what they want to act. But they did let in all these people. So who knows? Either way, the Lord's gonna. If it happens, it's because the Lord is allowing it to happen.
Let's not forget that, how long ago was it been? About 10 years ago or so from the Triad. They said they called and shut our gas off.
I remember
lights
that.
off, and the phones off. Then we was going back and forth with them. We was not nice. They told us that they gave us our address. They told us our own address, the whole nine, our names, the whole nine. And they said they had sleeper cells, and they said they was going to send the Triad over.
We the Gooks, huh?
And we was like, tell us them. We baited them. But just to say, I agree with you. There going to be instances. You cannot have controlled chaos. You cannot have
And
a
that still
controlled
could have been.
demolition.
That still could have been Esau.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Right.
And not to try it at all.
That's right, right. So the bottom line is there might be some level of some that they let in to do what they do, but it's all still controlled by, the left-hand side.
Venezuela, the military comes.
Yeah, we did see thousands of military-aged men coming here. So, but go ahead, brother.
The assets for it don't exist. This is all being badly handled. They're not awake yet. They're too busy doing what they always do. As soon as they can pick up a six-pack of beer, go home and watch the game, that's what they're going to do. When they can't do that, they'll pay attention. Netanyahu has infinitely more control and influence over the U.S. Congress than President Trump does. And President Trump is effectively simply his instrument. He's not going to do anything or say anything that Mr. Netanyahu doesn't want him to say. He's been on the phone recently to Mr. Netanyahu, and people had overheard the conversation have mentioned that, he talks in gangster terms about what they're going to do. Well, we'll break their legs. They'll pay a price for this and on and on. It's this tough guy talk that is common in New York City. He likes that. And so he's very much on board with this war. And he too is convinced that he and others will profit from Iran's destruction. You mean the idea that we are bombing these people while we are also telling them that they are our friends and we are their friends is a bit contradictory. And the way that we're bombing you to liberate you from a government that you don't really want, and your friends in Israel are putting together another governmental structure with the former or the crown prince's son, or the former son of the Shah, whatever you want to call him, who is a willing puppet of Israel, who will come in and take over and put everything right. The entire
Pause it right there. Because what has happened, man. Matter of fact, let him speak a little bit more. He's about to say something. Salaki. Let him say it.
is coming on side with Iran.
He said the entire
Many
global south.
European states are going to come on side with Iran that haven't done so yet. And then, of course, you have
Now you can pause.
the usual suspects.
Somebody get, and the nation shall hate the war. He said the entire global south is coming online with Iran. And Europe is coming online with Iran. Basically, everyone's turning on America. America and Israelis have showed themselves to be treacherous and cannot be trusted. All right, like the scripture says, somebody grab that, never trust our enemy. Because what they did was, what's that scripture in the Maccabees? I brought it out many a times in lessons. When they killed, when they murdered the Hasmonean, when they hurt the last Maccabee. Yeah, when they got him drunk, and then the Edomites, his Edomite son-in-law, hid the men inside inside the little room or whatever. And when they got drunk, they came out and enslaved them, and baked us. The Hasmonean dynasty was born. The Hasmonean dynasty was born shortly after that, and all of a sudden Edomites had rule, over the Israelites. But it was pretty much the same thing.
They warned him not to go there. It was a trap.
And it was a trap. He basically let his daughter marry an Edomite. Okay, and then they set him up. I think it's in First Maccabees. I think it's the 16th chapter. But nevertheless, this is pretty much what they did. They did a very sneaky, low-down, dirty thing, because Iran was in the midst of peace talks for peace, as America and Israel behind their back plotted, because you find out that your Jewish President Donald Trump, I'm gonna start calling him that, because Jewish President Donald Trump allowed or was in cahoots with Bibi Milkowski, the convert, to do the sneak attack on Iran, is they're in the middle of negotiations.
Right.
So here we are, we're coming to sit down to the table, boom, and then you start attacking me. It's like, well, go ahead.
I don't like. Hey, I want to say I don't like when my opponents know that they're in a fight.
Pretty much.
God knows. See, that's what Donald Trump thinks.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. You're right.
I like when my opponents don't.
Yeah, that's how I keep my undefeated status.
He said, I like when my opponents don't know they're in a fight.
They don't know they're in the fight. So you sneaking everybody.
Okay.
Go ahead, brother.
This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when
Sorry,
they
come on, Pop.
started 1 Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and of the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves knows perfectly that the day of Yahweh so
Speak a little louder, Pop, so you can make sure you over there.
Okay.
That fan make a lot of background noise.
And it was the 16th chapter.
It was the 16th. Papa Kishak, could you read a little bit of it after he's done? Go ahead, brother.
Okay. 1 Thessalonians 5, starting at verse 1. But the time and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of Yahweh so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then suddenly destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child and they shall not escape.
And guess what? One thing about El Malcolm is saying though,
Speak up.
this is our motherfucking prophecy right here. We talking about all this shit though. This is our bet. Hey, let's say Lisa draw them out.
Lisa the flock.
I got that too.
Man, we
Jeremiah
been-
50:45.
Bro, this is our shit right here.
This is what we've been waiting
right
for.
Here. This we've been waiting for.
We've been waiting for it, and that's exactly what's happening. You're absolutely right, brother. The least of the flock has drawn them out, and just like Colonel Douglas McGregor just said, that the entire global South and all of Europe is now starting to side with Iran
Yeah.
because they see that basically that America and the Israelis they're completely disagreeable. They're like an unruly. This is like dealing with a black woman.
They
And
were
guess what?
She's
Yeah.
unruly.
And
They're completely, totally unruly, and you can't reason with it.
They're
Like a
worldly.
damn Terminator.
And Elder Malcolm, we already know according to biblical prophecy, right? It said Russia should be a guard unto what? Persia, which is Iran. So we know they're gonna get involved at some point, and we waiting for the MOP.
Well, shoot, they
So
already
this
already
shit gonna crack.
involved.
They supplying Iran with
They already involved, brother. They supplying them with stuff. So this thing is gonna go. All right.
Oh, you got to move Turkey in there too,
Yeah.
according to the scriptures, right?
I want him to get that scripture first in this one.
Let's get that one first.
All right, this is First Maccabees 16 and 14. Now Simon was visiting the cities that were in the country and taking care for the good order of them. At which time he came down himself to Jericho with his sons, Matthias and Judas, in the 137th year, in the 11th month called Sabbath, where the son of Abubus, receiving them deceitfully into a little hole called Daucus, which he had built, made them a great banquet. Howbeit he had hid men there. So when Simon and his sons had drunk largely, Ptolemy and his men rose up and took their weapons. They came upon Simon into the banqueting place and slew him and his 2 sons and certain of his servants.
Right. So his whole party, his sons and his men, you know, when they disarmed, they didn't know that they were in a fight. But what did he
Never
do?
trust your enemy.
He trusted his enemy, man, especially an Edomite, man.
Yep.
All right, and then not long after that, you know, that was basically the end of the Hasmonean dynasty, the end of the Levite priests from the family line of the Maccabees.
Yep.
And then Esau put Edomites in their stead, man. All right, put what was his name? The Herodians. So it went from Hasmonean to Herod to the Herodians.
What's crazy is it was Jake that set him up.
Wicked
This
ass.
dude, this guy that was named, no, I just said his name. What person did it?
He had a couple of them. No, Simon was one of his.
Abubus.
Yeah.
Abubus was a Jake, because above it says this is he was the high priest's son-in-law. Moreover, in the plain of Jericho was Ptolemy, the son of Abubus, made captain. He had abundance of silver and gold, for he was the high priest's son-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
So this Jake set him up.
Yeah, I know that one of those Hasmoneans, it may have been Simon. His daughter actually married.
I think when Jason made him wear a hat.
No, that's before. There's something different, brother. But it was one of those Hasmoneans. I think it might have been Simon, whose daughter married an Edomite, and then that Herodian thing happened shortly thereafter. All right, but go ahead, brother. The scripture you had, because he pretty much touched on the point when he said that all of the global South and all of Europe are starting to lean toward Iran and away from America. That's in the beast shall hate the whore. That's what's happening. The nations shall hate the whore, man. Go ahead. Somebody can grab that.
Revelation 17.
Yeah,
Revelation
this is-
17.
I need a water bottle, man.
And we have some, he likes some lukewarm.
No, that one.
He doesn't like the cold.
You like a
Pray
little
these
tip?
brothers.
Yeah, give me
Come in here.
that.
Never mind, bro. Never mind. Read.
Revelation 17:15. And he saith unto me,
I don't need no water, bro. I don't need no water. I got water. I was talking about spraying brothers who keep
Oh, like a
Sleep.
cat.
Right. Sometimes they close their eyes and spray their ass.
Yeah.
And I got the
Hey,
spirit of-
my Shaba ain't falling asleep. He's bringing the water, dog. Mercy.
Revelation
Let me get a
17.
cold
Bring the water, dog.
And he
Cold,
said
too.
unto me,
Cold.
the waters which thou sawest when the horse sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
Ooh, and we're excited about this.
Let's go.
Because we can see this happening. All right, we've been prophesying and speaking about this since hell for a long time now, man. For some of us, we're pushing up on 2 decades now.
That's right. For the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill His will. That makes me think of Obadiah, that ambassadors going throughout the heathen and basically stirring up the pockets. The Lord is
Those that ate that bread, those that benefited from the, what it said, the old friendship in Esdras. Cause guess what? Hey, man, remember the French and the Portuguese that y'all sold land to each other? Remember how good it was when y'all were together? It was called what? Was it called the Mexican Agreement? No, it was the Treaty of Rome. It was the Treaty of Tlaxcala, right? Remember that? Yikwa?
And it also makes me think of Isaiah 13:4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as a great people, a tumultuous noise, and kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts musters the host of the battle. It's the Lord kickstarting this, going back to Revelation 17, for God has put in their hearts to fulfill His will.
Yeah, and then I heard that they've cut off the Straits of Hormuz.
Let's go.
So supply of everything is about to get short. You can expect gas prices to start to
They
skyrocket.
already started people.
All right,
Elder,
prices at Walmart are starting to go up, and that's why the poor people of America shop.
Yeah.
The more, you know.
All these.
Elder, remember the whole reason why they were depleting
No,
Gaza.
They got Salaki, brother. They got all these in these Edomite neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really nice ones too, man. No, but it's really Walmart because it's the one stop where you can get your food,
One-stop
you get your
shop.
clothes, you get your automotive, you get your toys, your garden. It's right, which killed all the mom and pops.
Right. Store.
You know, it really, you know.
Yeah, it's a lot of towns that only got Walmarts in
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
If Walmart leave, they're fucked.
Exactly.
And if it's not a Walmart, it's a Meyer, which got the same setup.
Say, and I think they're interconnected. But I remember back in the early 90s when I was the legs man, when I worked for Legs Pantyhose. All right, and I remember
2Gs.
I remember when with 2Gs, right? The little age with the
God.
the damn.
I remember this.
Yeah, man, that was the good old days. But anyway, I remember when all the Walmarts were all being built all across California, and they're always like on the outskirts of town, in between like towns. You know,
yeah.
it would be like 3 towns that went
Oh,
to this one
Walmart.
big Walmart. Hold on, brother. And they have and they would have these gigantic hosiery centers.
Yeah.
And I remember going to all the little small towns and little hick mountain towns and way out in the valley, you know, driving all over the state to remove all the hosiery centers from all these small stores to put them into the big ones.
They were in
To the
Walgreens.
Walmart.
Yeah.
So that whole setup has been helping destroy the economy for a long time.
Well,
man.
here in Chicago, they wouldn't let Walmart build in the city for a long time.
Yeah.
Y'all remember? Walmart wasn't allowed. That's why I was on the outskirts
Outskirts
of
of
the city.
town.
Exactly.
The legs was in all the pharmacies. I remember you used to go to Walgreens, you go to
Yep.
CVS, the legs, and they took them out. Legs and Hanes was in every pharmacy.
Yeah, but-
And they said, no, we're going to put them out. We only got to put what? In Wally World. So if you ever wanted some clean draw, something for cheap, you had to go to Wally World.
Hey, look, Malcolm, I'm gonna tell
Had the
you,
legs, remember the
you don't have
panties?
to go to- if you want to go to college back in the day, you had to go to Walmart.
Yep.
That was your motherfucking, that was your lifeline.
Yep.
Yeah, that was.
Everybody was going to what? They was going to Walmart.
Yeah, that's how it was.
That was
when I
your shit.
Yeah, that's how it was when I was in college. It's like a van came every so often, like, all right, we're going to Walmart because that's the
Yeah.
only place we can go. That's in the middle of nowhere.
Let me finish this last
Go
one.
ahead, brother.
Revelation 17. For God hath put in their hearts, which is their minds, to fulfill His will, and to agree, and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. And that's Babylon, which is gone down. All these nations, and marvel because over 15, 20 years ago, when I was living in London and Scotland and UK just for about a little bit over half a year, they all hated America back then. And to now,
They really hate them now.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
in every parade, every protest, they have Donald or Joe Biden or whoever's the president in effigy. We got a big statue of him or whatever, paper mache or whatever.
Burn
that
it.
is. And then they'll burn it,
Beat it and burn
beat
it.
and they'll mock it, and they'll they have it in a disparaging position, showing you their feelings for their Western counterparts. And
Yeah.
that's their so-called allies. But that's because America is, in their eyes, the most pompous, the most unruly, ungrateful.
And now they're beginning to really see that that's even more so than Americans are the Israelis.
Yeah.
Those are some of the proudest, rudest, and most arrogant people.
Man.
All right.
They have no calluses on their hands.
We
They got no hard
all
work.
saw the video of the little proud Edomite Israeli chick in Thailand talking about how her money supports and built Thailand. I was like, well, how delusional are you? All right, but this is 2nd Ezra 16 and 14. It says, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. So these fires that are burning from these wars, they're not going to be put out. They're just going to continue and they're going to get bigger. All right, it says, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backward.
God knows.
Even so, the plagues that are sent upon the earth should not return again. There's no prophecy that says this whole thing will heat up and then pull back. It don't say that at all.
It's right. The closest they can say, and it's not saying it, is when they say peace and safety, then comes swift destruction. They'll say it, hey, now we made a treaty, now we're at peace, but there ain't no peace. All right? And they'll just see it on just in the narrative, in the trenches. Everybody's, like you mentioned earlier, you go to the grocery store, I went, and they'll say, you spending $400 to $500 for what's really equivalent to $100 worth of food.
Pretty much.
You cannot survive with it. The food is actually this much right here, a little, barely a pound of roast meat is fucking $20.
But guess
And
what?
that's what back in the day that would be $7.99, $8.99.
$5 max.
And you're complaining about that.
But guess what? The elder just said he just read the plague. He said you can't call back this plague though. This plague is talking about a missile. This shit can kill you niggas, man.
And we can't wait.
This is World War III.
I'm going to read it again. 2nd 16:16. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backwards. Even so the plagues. Even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again.
Yeah.
Woe is me. Woe is me. Who shall deliver me in those days?
The prophet saw it all the time, elder.
I got to speak to
It's coming. Now,
I'm
hold on.
not done reading yet, bro.
They talking about destruction.
It says, the beginning of great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? So things are just going to progressively
That's it.
get worse.
This is Luke 12 and 29. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? You see, this is not dialing back, as you say. Like I said, he said that it's already going to be jumped off and going when I show up.
Con, now that you said that, verse 19.
Go ahead.
Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a member.
Let's go.
But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. And you're right, man. I don't know, on the way here, I jumped on the bus, and the nigga woman bus driver basically hit on every man that got on the bus. And let everybody, it was all men, and she let everybody know that she lived alone.
Damn.
That you can come get it, but you can't stay the night. That's pretty much what she said. You know, and I didn't say, I kept my mouth shut the whole time. then the YN or the YBs got on with their booty cutters on and they sliced up shorts with their cheeks out.
Let's go.
With they multiple babies and with all the none of them looked alike.
Bring it up.
They had different daddies. Loud and ignorant as fuck, screaming. Just it was so. They're not gonna turn back. They're not gonna listen. They were so rude to where they offended the other wicked nigga who she in her speech let it be known that she's still married.
Wow.
All right, I'm just listening to her speak, and it was like, I was like, damn, this would be one of the times that I had my headphones, because I was just rushing to get out to get over here, because I missed my ride. I was like, shit, I better go, and I just ran out, and I had to endure that, and the level, and all them wicked YBs. You don't know what it is? Look it up. I'm sure it's in the Urban Dictionary by now. You got YNs and YBs, all right, and all falling out. You know, they were falling out their clothes. Everybody's breasts was falling out.
Bring it up.
Their ass cheeks was hanging out, and then they had all them little rug rats that none of them looked alike, all right, because they all had different daddies, of course. And they were just loud, and it was just so irritating, man, because our people are not going to get in order, man. All right.
I had something different. This is the brother of Jim, cousin Doctor. Put in Isaiah 19:14 through 15. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his bondage. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, for the head or tail branch or rush neither. All right, this is
Turn that down, please. Oh, it's on the lowest one?
Somebody turned it up higher than it should. The lowest said they told me to put it on.
Yeah.
Alright. That kicked me off the internet. See that Howard said, it's gonna take me a second to come back on.
I'm still up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Go ahead, bro.
Just to finish what I was saying. Yeah, the Lord has mingled a perverse spirit in the midst of them. He said their understanding and teaming. Right, Esau is so divided. You got the left versus the right, patriot versus the constitutionalists. You got the eastern Edomites versus western Edomites. You got, and then inside of every single faction, the Putin's factions, the Ukrainian factions, the Israel faction, the American faction, it's a free for all for people who are mustering for power.
Yeah.
So the Lord is really undermining everything that they do agree on. It's all leading them straight to war.
And then with their policy, with all this alphabet lifestyle that they've done, they've ruined themselves because America's military is weak, and they don't have a fresh crop to pick from or to choose from. Right. And the majority of Generation Z, which are the military age people, are completely against the Israelis. And are refusing to go fight in a war, to where, because the majority of the Generation Zers were against Israel. They were the ones out there demonstrating, protesting, for the Palestinians, for the genocide that's still going on against the Palestinian genocide, which is being done by the Jewish people. All right, which is the only. The genocide, the Palestinian Holocaust, which is in real time. All right, the Palestinians are in the midst of their Holocaust. It's actually happening, and unlike another Holocaust, they don't have all this stuff is being seen real time, and they don't have information that challenges the narrative. You can't, because you can actually see it happen, and the world sees it, which is why he said the whole global South and all of Europe, for the most part, are starting to turn against America and Israel and side with Iran.
That's right.
All right? Because people don't want to go to war, man. Go ahead.
Can I say this? Hey, can I tell you that the same tactics that were used to de-lice them East Europeans were the same tactics that they used to do to the Mexicans for them to come work your fields, which in reality, the Germans weren't so goddamn creative. They took what the Americans were doing at the southern border, which de-licing these Mexicans that came to work in the fields, all right, which was delicing them with mustard gas, which is how you.
Xylocone B.
Well, you know, let's not go into too many details.
Right, yeah.
Leave it alone.
But if you did that,
All I'm saying is that delicing, yeah.
That's what I said,
We
delicing.
don't want to go into any details. What we will say is that, right, because they'll get at us. You know, because they don't like it when you tell, you know, all we can say is that, right, you can't give up too much, brother. You went too far. Look, all we can say is that with the other one, the other H word thing that happened,
yes,
it basically, the story just has too many holes in it.
Message.
There's too many facts. There's too many facts against it that they try to just not even present. They don't even want you to talk about it.
Right.
All right. So it's too many holes in that doctrine in the actual narrative, and let's leave it at that, brother. That's why I said it the way I said it.
Right.
Because
well, for the
everything-
Mexicans that think that they're
So,
Europeans,
you know,
they did the same thing to you.
so I'm saying that, you know, because they look for any reason to get in my shit. So
Saliki.
U.S. officials at the border,
They said we got him.
particularly in El Paso Juarez, utilized Zyklon B to disinfect the clothing of Mexican immigrants.
right there you
We
go.
talking about Mexico. We ain't talking, you know.
There you go. Yeah, we was talking about Mexico.
And beaners, wetbacks.
And like you're saying here,
As a
America,
matter, you say you trying to close your videos down.
Man,
Man, the videos,
I've had to
the
turn
truth
off my
don't come
camera.
out.
Real talk.
okay, but yeah, like you were saying, and like you said, the way this generation now
Bitch,
is,
nigga.
this generation is now, unlike generations of old, that when there was no job, they were looking for the military, going on and join the military just for the job.
This
They're
was
doing-
not.
This was not doing that.
He's ready to go to the beach. They ready to go to the beach, get high. If they can't eat, they'll get high.
Right.
So, well, then you know what? I'm gonna get high, so take away these hunger pains.
The hunger pain, yeah.
And a matter of fact, the high will come fast if you ain't got nothing in you.
Yeah.
So
Can't win.
and so they're either physically unfit, they some weird alphabet lifestyle, or they got too many drugs in their system and they can't. So you don't. So where's America gonna get all these warriors from? What they gonna do? Start trying to bring back all their veterans? What you done fucked over?
And they want to pause you.
All right. Yeah. So where you gonna get? And y'all heard about the 4 millionaires from Planeteer that they turned into that they gave them the rank of lieutenant colonel to get.
Oh yeah.
I gotta play it.
Millionaires.
I didn't hear
Yeah.
I gotta play it, brother. Hold on.
Yeah, somebody play that real quick.
I saw that.
Glad somebody's listening.
Hey man, give us something right
It's so hard to get a B shorty in party.
Yeah, these 2 videos right here. All right, this one with the little Asian bra, and this one with this nigga woman who's an ex military herself. But here we go.
I had to read the article 3 times to make sure that I wasn't saying things, that I wasn't taking anything out of context. Top executives from OpenAI, Meta, and Palantir, CTOs, CPOs of the biggest tech companies in the world were sworn into the U.S. military, not as advisors, as lieutenant colonels in the Army Reserve.
Let me just say this, man. To become a full bird or become a lieutenant colonel can take you anywhere 20, 25 years. Man.
That's right.
20 to 25 years to become a lieutenant colonel or colonel, man. So just to swear these dudes in, all right, with no training, no background check, none of that shit.
Fucking joke.
Since when did unelected millionaires become military officers without boot camp or vetting by the public? When did we give the people who are in control of our data and digital lives military rank? This isn't some sci-fi dystopian shit, right? Like, this is real. This is real. This new unit just opened the door for big tech to directly control military innovation. AI, surveillance, cyber weapons, autonomous drones. You think this is about advising? No. Are you guys comfortable with the merging Silicon Valley with the U.S. military?
So I'm gonna shut her up now. She said what I wanted her to say. I'm gonna play the other one. But you gotta understand This is all connected to the MOTB. That's what this is leading to. All right, to the whole, what do they call it?
The big beautiful bill.
The big beautiful bill, the social
Engineering.
social engineering, where
Social score.
where you have a social credit score. That's all that's going to be interconnected. All right, so so they setting it up right at the same time that World War III is happening. Man, we're here, bro.
That Cape woman bitch, Marjorie Taylor, what did she say? She said, I didn't know that in page 500 we were going to give control to AI to make bills, and that makes perfect sense with this, because guess what? By making that, then these CEOs can buy their way into who has control over what and what you say. Famine of the word. Come on, baby.
And then AI can be controlled and manipulated. Yeah. All right, to a certain extent.
All
right.
100%.
100%.
So here we go.
We are in deep shit. When I say that we are in deep shit, we are in deep shit. You see these four right here?
She's a former officer herself.
COOs from Palantir, Meta, and OpenAI.
Perfect.
Multi-billionaires who are being sworn into our U.S. Army reserves as lieutenant colonels. So Commander Bonesberg and Pete Hegsbreth came up with a new detachment called Detachment 201, the Army's Executive Innovation Corps, or EIC. Last I checked, when anyone wants to join the military, they have to go through basic training, they have to go through MOS training, they also have to go through a background check to be able to obtain a security clearance, whether it's secret or top secret. But yet, we're giving these four billionaires who are in charge of monitoring our information, our data, through Meta, through Palantir, and OpenAI, we're giving them the key to our defense. They are being sworn in as lieutenant motherfucking colonels. Lieutenant colonels. Whereas for some of us who actually served, it takes us years and years and years, up to maybe 25 years just to get that rank. Just to be able to obtain
25,
that rank.
30.
So on June 13th, the Army announced the creation of Detachment 201, otherwise known as the Executive Innovation Corps, which it describes as a new initiative designed to fuse cutting-edge tech expertise with military innovation. Four ultra-wealthy executives from top tech companies were sworn into the unit ahead of President Trump's heavily promoted military parade, which was itself sponsored by Palantir. The Army's top spokesman declared that the Detachment 201 was being created to bring in tech innovation executive leaders to help the Army with the recruitment and the subsequent training of tech-focused people. So if it's not bad enough that we've got these four CEOs here that are in charge of meddling and having access to our private information, now they're going into the military, and now they're going to use AI technology. This is a direct control of military innovation. This would include AI surveillance, cyber weapons, and autonomous drones.
Cyber.
So now Trump and Pete Hegsbreth are trying to weaponize our military by the use of these super wealthy CEOs from OpenAI, Meta, and Palantir.
So basically, at the end of the day, what are they doing it for? They're not doing that with the military for the other nations. They're doing it for here, for you. They're getting ready to declare war on their own citizens, on their own people, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, and to get you in line, to make people want to, and they're going to create the chaos. All right, so this is why they're talking about, retaliation from Iran and sleeper cells and all this shit, because then they can use all this shit. Well, that's what
your
it
polls,
is.
right? Your
So
rebellions.
So basically they're giving you the action response solution.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, they're giving you the action. They're watching your responses, and then they already got the solution.
They already seen
It's
your
just
pro-Palestine
It's
post.
just like they created the other incident, with the C-19er thing.
God knows.
Right, and then they came, later
The
on,
retail
they
apocalypse.
gave everybody, myocarditis to fix it. All right.
My neck
So-
and my back.
Exactly. When in major pain, when he broke his finger to take his hand off his leg, my leg, and he broke his finger. All right.
Made him take the finger.
I got a quick
Elder.
question.
Bring it out, brother.
This is Revelation 13 and 14. And it says, and they deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of the miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. And that's the all that little technology with the AI, like y'all said, they're using that bullshit.
Shit, their medicine, brother. What it said, the all lying wonders. when they told you to take this seat, shit, it was a solution because modern science already told you everything we did, we proved to you, right?
Exactly.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield, right?
Yep.
Mount Sinai, all the hospital Cook County for free.
But some,
That's
of those,
right.
some of those miracles that the MOTP got, you can do the research on it.
The paralysis
Yeah,
fix.
if you got paralysis, they use AI. You basically bridge the gap between your nerves.
Yep.
All right,
Upgrade the movie. I
Upgrade.
remember the demon was like, no, don't show him mercy, kill him. Oh, we gotta teach you something.
Then they able to take pictures of your dreams and shit now.
Yeah.
They can figure out what
What you dream.
they can figure out what part of the brain is stimulated by what,
Yeah.
and push that and whatnot.
Hey, you know, Esau so cold. Your grandma can motherfucking have a leg that's been missing for like 5 years. They can put a chip in your fucking your grandma's head and tie it to a motherfucking leg and she can walk again.
A metal leg.
That's the medical miracle.
What I just said.
That's his brother.
Make sure y'all speak up. And Shimon said it's a little hard to hear.
Nah,
I don't know if, brother, were you talking about the video I was playing or just us in general?
The fans, probably
Be
the fans.
specific.
Pussy.
That's the miracles that he's gonna be using. And it says, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they shall make an image to the beast, which had a wound by a sword and did live. So amen. They trying to basically, amen, get you people programmed and ready for this stuff that's about to happen. Because this is their system, the beast system they trying to set up, which is gonna be promoted through the MOTV.
Hey, remember, America doesn't export shit but culture. So the way we think, the way we hey, if LeBron James or any big celebrity, Michael Jordan, whoever, gets up and says this is the next thing, what Jay gonna do? What's the first thing Jay gonna do? They're gonna wigglingly go. Maybe Michael Jordan. I don't know. Something the greatest.
Yeah, so I said when the chick come out, they gonna be fighting over like Jordan. It's gonna be the new Jordan, the electronic Jordan.
Yeah, I know.
He'll do that shit too. And this full of their wickedness, man. I'm gonna read the next verse 15. And he had power to give life into the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And anybody who's not following their system, following this gradualism, hey man, you gotta get cut out now. You ain't gonna be able to get no food, no water, no resources, no nothing. You know, this is what this devil is. Remember that movie, what's they called? Damn, what was that?
What movie?
You gotta give him the
It was a
example.
movie. What was that with Who you remember? Would you remember? Bring it back. What's that black ass nigga's name?
A lot of those.
Yeah,
What's his name? Yeah, what's his name?
And you it shows you in
Remember
that
that?
movie.
Everybody was in motherfucking the back.
It shows you in that movie how society was shut out and they was hiding and only certain people had exactly, man. And only certain people who had the chip. Hey, they was the only ones that could move smoothly in society.
You couldn't talk a certain way. You wow. Tickets for talking a certain way.
It was one corporation that owned everything.
Yeah.
Taco Bell was in that
yeah.
Wow, check this out, man. I just got this from the brother Taj. He's out in the DC camp. Used to be in Colorado Springs. But this is Midnight Oil in the 2000s. Purpose: martial law plan for domestic crisis, terror attack, civil unrest. Vice President was Dick Cheney, DOD, COG, the call. What ain't that Gears of War? It says theater of operation, U.S. soil. Trigger condition, national emergency, WMD event, mass civil disorder. Public status, never confirmed, officially discussed, only in leaks and conspiracy. So it's the same playbook. I'm just getting through it. It says international nature of action, internal troop deployment, internal. Yep. That's what these four lieutenant colonels was all about. All right. It says internal troop deployment, possible suspension of civil liberties, controversy, fear of abuse, unconstitutional overreach. And then now this one, the new one, that was old Midnight, Hammer 2000s. New Midnight, Hammer 2 2025. Decapitation style strike on Iran nuclear facilities. I just heard Bibi Milkowski say that over and over again. And I heard the president say it too. Alleged leadership. President Trump, Secretary of Defense, heads with Joint Chiefs. Theater of operation, international Iranian territory. Trigger condition, strategic urgency to stop Iran's nuclear breakout. And just like they never found any weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
All right.
From Iraq.
You know, exactly. It's the same thing all over again. You know, remember in 2000, Bibi Milkowski said Iran is seconds away from the bomb.
Yeah.
In 2012, Bibi Milkowski said
A couple months away.
they're a couple seconds away from the bomb. All right, and he drew the picture of the bomb with the little stem on it. All right, 2025, just recently, barely a week ago, Bibi Milkowski said Iran is a couple of seconds away from the bomb. So it's the same playbook, same bullshit. All right, it says trigger conditions, strategic urgency to stop Iran's nuclear breakout, public status confirmed openly by U.S. DOD and White House, nature of action, stealth military airstrike with kinetic force, controversy, risk of regional war, questions about legality and global escalation. All right, so these guys are constantly breaking the law. What do you call it? The three executive branches of government is rarely used anymore.
Right.
Right.
Even the fact that Trump just bombed them without Congress.
Exactly.
That's a big thing right now.
So that's what they said. So that's what that other video was talking about. How the rule of law is being disregarded in and out of America. And it might have been a sleeper. I think that was the one we watched already.
Yeah, the sleeper cell.
That's court martial. That can be covered under the court of international law.
Hey, Bob.
In the Hague.
Damn it, no. See, we already know the end already. Look, America gonna get involved.
Yeah, we know the end.
The weak of them gonna bring them out. And this shit gonna, Russia gonna spearhead them. This shit, Babylon going down, man. Babylon gonna be destroyed, man.
1 hour.
Yeah. It don't matter how this shit go down, all the motherfucking little in-betweens. Yeah, you hit my girlfriend, you hit my girlfriend. All this shit gonna happen. That's what the Lord said. Like the earlier motherfucking Revelation 17, it said the EU, everybody gonna turn on Babylon, man. Babylon gonna be destroyed, man.
This is Job 5. I'm starting 8. I would seek unto the Most High, and unto the Most High would I commit my cause. Jump to verse
17.
12. He 11. To set up on high those that be low, that those which mourn may be exalted to save them. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. So the Lord he's undermining everything that they do. We must just hold the line and wait on the Lord until his will be done.
It's happening.
It's happening in the face. That's why the scripture says, blessed is he who can see the fall. They basically loosely paraphrasing the downfall of your enemy. Yeah. We're watching the fall of Babylon in real time. Right? And it's just a matter of time. Because every decision that they make is only going to dig them a deeper grave.
Every decision they make, it leads back to one decision. We know Babylon gonna be destroyed.
Yeah.
And it has to, the MOTB will be motherfucking implemented, and it will be mandatory. And guess what? The elect will be saved.
Let me hit this. This is Revelation 16:13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. All right, which is America being the military. All right, we got Vatican being the false prophet, you know, and then we got the money being Britain, right? For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of that great day of the Most High Almighty. So everything they do and been doing has been leading up to World War III. All right. Even the fact that the UK made it clear they want de-escalation. They're not really with America bombing it. They want de-escalation. So this, Lord knows, could play a big part in the 10 hating the whore. We know money is going to be a big part of it.
Yeah.
So that's for sure. But this affects them.
Yeah.
All right, because once Russia get in there, that's what this is the Lord's will.
And like Colonel McGregor said, he said the entire global South, okay,
with it.
and Europe are starting to side against America, and are starting to side with Iran and Russia.
Yeah, the world,
and because they're realizing that, you can't. America's they're treacherous and they cannot be trusted. And this last act, they're as far as being a global leader, and how their commercial says the Navy a force for good.
Yeah.
For good of who, nigga? What?
Yeah.
No. You here we are sitting down to make peace deals, and you sneak and shooting bombs on me.
You sneak.
While we talking.
Right.
And
And
the whole world saw that, and people did not like it.
The Iranians said that was treacherous if in the guise of peace y'all were plotting against us. That's cowardice shit, man.
America's done, bro.
He with this hand was sticking out his hand. What is it, McGregor? One day you're making gang signs, other one you're making baloo animals, man.
But you know what? But that's the MO of
Esau anyway.
The so-called white man.
He shake your hand with the left hand.
He said you're making balloon animals with one hand.
Reach around with his
Gang
right
signs with the
and
other
stab
hand.
you in the back.
And Pops, I'll go back to prophecy.
Yep.
Because the Lord set this man up to be fucking destroyed. That's it.
I've got a scripture for you. This is Habakkuk 2, starting 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say to me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved.
That's a watchman right now. We're
That's
saying
right.
that right now.
And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon table, that he may run that read it. So we wrote it back then as part of the hopeful elect. And now we come back and reading it this time around, breaking it down clearly for everybody to know it. So like you said, but what are we? We are Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai's news reporters.
Keep reading.
Okay? So, the reader, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So we're going through all the different things, bring down all the different prophecies that we see as they unfold, lick by lick, verse by verse, so that so when y'all say, well, if I'd have known, the Lord gonna say, hey, you heard it, you was told. Right. The cloak is lifted. You ain't got no cloak now.
Remember them guys on the street you said they was crazy?
Yeah, they was crazy.
You call them bums and derelicts? They was.
Hey, get a job.
Yeah, get a job.
Y'all sitting out here and break
they was the ones telling you.
Yeah. Wasn't that in one of the movies? I think it was Independence Day.
Yeah,
he said, who'd have thought that the dudes, the crazy cardboard signs, were telling the truth the whole time?
World War Z.
Right.
Was it World War Z?
I know World War Z had a son.
No, but that was somebody specifically said what I just said.
Oh, okay.
He said it, and I think it was Independence Day.
What? The second movie though.
He said
they thought that was crazy.
The guy with the cardboard signs was telling the truth.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically, people saying that the end is here, the Lord is coming again with those signs.
Crazy. I didn't know that's it.
See, my people gonna be like that right now.
The homeless guy that's the prophet. I forget which.
Crazy as hell.
And guess what, people?
The
Lord didn't have a place to sleep.
Thank you.
Exactly.
The men of the Lord left everything. They were homeless, just going around teaching the word of the Lord, man. That's how important it was. Man. All right, that was the they left everything to go around and to teach their people who were in captivity, to remind them who they were and that the kingdom of heaven was at hand.
Damn, all right. It was a Chinese movie. It may have been Ip Man. The poor dude always kept telling them, because they was under Britain was fucking up China.
Yeah.
And the poor dude kept telling them, you're gonna save us. It's you. And then he ended up beating their ass and got them free. It's always homeless. I think it was Ip Man. But they always show that art imitates life. The homeless guy is the prophet. They always show that the one you look down upon is always the prophet.
Right. What was that scripture now? I think it's like Ecclesiastes 9. It said the poor man.
Con,
Nobody
poor
listen to
man's
him.
wisdom.
I got that.
Oh,
He
damn.
holding it. Go ahead, bring it out.
This,
We gonna wrap with that.
Let's go.
Sirach 13:23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue,
No.
and look what he saith. They extol it to the clouds, but
God.
but
so wise.
but if the poor man speak, they say, "What fellow is this?"
This nigga, who is this nigga?
And if he
I'm not
stumble,
on shower curtains.
Right.
Why y'all teaching the hood?
Hey, why you got on
Yeah,
dresses,
sheets.
man? Why you got on dresses?
I've been saying this for years.
Yeah,
Y'all think y'all better be? Y'all got better.
Right, and the
We on
garments
church here.
and the similarity to our garments and the garments that the pastors and preachers wear. They'll never say that shit about them.
Because
Right,
they
right,
They
literally,
never
yeah.
said that shit about them.
and if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him.
They can't wait till your ass fall off.
Yeah, and that's why the Lord get ready to come back.
Lord can't be dealing with
The
this.
Lord
nigga.
is getting ready to
He
come back
off.
and kill all you 2/3 niggas. Man.
That's right.
I got the one he quoted, which
Bring it out,
Bible
brother.
this is Ecclesiastes 9
Right, that's
and 15. No, you good. Let's do something. It's Ecclesiastes 9:15. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no man remembered the same poor man. Then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. All right.
Wow, and that's the men of the Lord. Mainly among our own people, man. Hey, so with that, man, we're gonna give all praises, all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kakadash.
Kwam Yasharala,
Kwam Yasharala.
Baba Ball.
Baba.
Terminator finna be in there.